Yeah, it's been a while. I'm very sorry about this. I know it's been a while since my last Disney era ranking, but it did take me a while to watch through this one because I had to take breaks in between multiple movies. And then like I've finished watching through this era like 3 weeks ago. But originally the video I had planned was going to be like pre-recorded. Like I had a script typed out and everything. And then I thought to myself, wait, I don't want to do that. Then I was disappointed because I was like, well, I wrote that entire script. It was like 8 pages long. And then I was like, that would have been a nightmare to record. So, yeah, I decided not to do that. So I just jotted down notes from the script. I had a whole presentation planned. And honestly, the presentation was crap, so I'm kind of glad that's not around. Whoopee. So, yeah, the Disney Renaissance is an era that I was really, really looking forward to revisiting because, like, 6 of these movies are probably gonna end up in my top 10 Disney movies. Maybe just five. We'll see. It kind of depends on how many from other eras, which there's only two left, that I have to watch make it into the top 10 there. So today the film watcher, shall be ranking all 10 films from the Disney Renaissance. Let's do this. In last place, by far, is Pocahontas. Just Disney, what did you do? What have you done? Okay, so before I'm mean to this movie, which I will be, don't get me wrong. Let me be nice to it first. So, what are some good things about Pocahontas? Um, the animation is rather nice. I kind of like how certain animals are incorporated into the visuals. What else? There are some good songs. Virginia Company, Just Around the River Bend. So, I guess. Colors of the Wind is pretty decent. Savages doesn't have good lyrics, but it's good overall. Weirdly enough, my favorite song was Mine, Mine, Mine. It really highlights what a terrible villain Ratcliffe is, but I don't care. It's just funny. So, yeah, I enjoy it. The rest of the movie is absolute garbage. It is boring. It is so unbelievably boring. Like every single scene, there were a couple like musical numbers that were interesting, like Mine, Mine, Mine in particular. But there were even some musical numbers that are absolute crap and just forgettable. And yeah, every single character is boring, aside from Radcliffe. But he's stupid, so he's still terrible. Pocahontas and John Smith are the single worst Disney couple of all time. Pocahontas has no arc. She does nothing in this movie, despite being the main character. Like, I don't know, she has this thing about being psychic or something? Well, what's up with that? And she does nothing. She has no personality aside from mildly playful at times and kind of serious at other times, which makes her character wildly inconsistent. And then John Smith is a complete jerk at first. He's very racist at first. He calls Pocahontas' people savages. He says, "We want to teach you how to do things." Actually, Mel Gibson does a pretty good job with the singing, which I really didn't expect. Because, I just didn't know Mel Gibson could sing. Pretty cool. Yeah, but still. And then after Pocahontas sings Colors of the Wind, I kid you not with this, his racism and all his prejudices just completely disappear. Okay. Look, as nice as that would be, And, like, sometimes some wishful thinking is good, but that is crap. Come on. Yeah, like, what? You can just sing a pretty song and all prejudice will just disappear? What kind of messages are you, yes, I'm talking to you, Disney, trying to imbue in your youngsters? Not that many youngsters watch this movie because it's garbage. No youngster would be able to make it past the 10-minute mark. It's awful. And beyond that, like, every side character is boring. The Native Americans are boring. The colonists are slightly less boring. And then, the ending. Oh my god. Like, John Smith is injured in the ending. Oh yeah, and by the way, whenever anyone gets shot in this movie, there's, like, no markings on them at all. They're, like, completely clean. Anyway, and so John Smith gets shot. And the colonists take him back to Britain, and Pocahontas is like, I don't want to leave with you. My people need me here. Wait, no, they don't. The only role that she has is ceremonial. The only thing she's supposed to do is marry some attractive dude who can take over her father's chief position when he dies. What is wrong with this movie? And then there's this historical inaccuracies. Like, okay. I am fine with Disney leaving out the fact that Pocahontas died as a teenager because, that'd be a little mixed. That's like leaving out, the fact that Esmeralda dies at the end of the Hunchback of Notre Dame book. Or the fact that the Little Mermaid dies at the end of the original fairy tale. Like, that's fine. If you don't want to do that, sure. But the fact the movie tries to, like, portray the colonists as pretty nice guys who are just, like, I don't know, duped by Ratcliffe or something, that is insulting. Come on. And then, like, it tries to make it seem like all the Native Americans are, like, super prejudiced. And, like, they are, but wouldn't you think that they have a little more right to be prejudiced than the colonists, who shouldn't really, like, the Native Americans don't do anything to the colonists, aside from Casper Smith, but, okay, from the beginning of the movie, the colonists are biased against the Native Americans, for no reason. Like, right, that's historical, right? But when the movie tries to make it seem like the Native Americans are equally as wrong in their prejudices, I think they have a little bit more of a good reason to be prejudiced. Because, the colonists, as the movie puts it, invaded their lands, cut down their trees and dug up their earth, and, in actual history, slaughtered a whole bunch of them. Hello! So, yeah, the movie is awful. Its message is so buffoonishly presented that I don't even know what to say. I was just, like, sitting there, slapping my face as I was watching this movie. It is so unbelievably terrible. There is so little merit to it. And at this point, it is the worst Disney animated film that I have had to watch so far. And this includes Black Cauldron and Dumbo. I raved about Dumbo. This is much worse than Dumbo. At least Dumbo had, like, some cute characters. This movie has none of that. It has a couple good songs, some nice animation. That's it. Would you believe that Disney thought that this movie was going to be one of their big moneymakers? They put their top people on this. They got Menken and Schwartz to do the songs. I'm pretty sure it was Schwartz. I'm not sure. Yeah, but, like, this is easily the worst musical soundtrack from this decade. And, like, yeah, Disney put The Lion King was obviously finished before this movie because it came out the year before. But they thought that The Lion King was going to be modest success, whereas this movie is going to be like joining the likes of Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Little Mermaid. Did they watch this movie? Like, oh God, I hate this movie. It is awful. Moving on. Number 9. Tarzan. Okay, Tarzan is not slightly, it's definitely a pretty solid step up from Pocahontas. Got a good voice cast. Minnie Driver, Glenn Close, Brian Blessed, Rosie O'Donnell, my man Wayne Knight. It's pretty funny. There is some really cool action. The animation is really, really nice. It's a really great mix of 2D and 3D animation. There's some okay songs. Like You'll Be in My Heart is actually pretty nice. The Trash in the Camp one is it's okay. But and I know many other people have complained about the way the songs are used in this movie, like how it makes more sense to have the characters singing. And I'd agree. I'm not like as upset about that issue as some people are, but like if the songs had been like more specific to the story and characters, I wouldn't mind them being sung in the background. But the problem is they're all just really generic pop ballads. They have no connection to the story or the characters. So they kind of just feel like weird commentaries on things that, should be obvious if you're watching the movie. I mean, aside, You'll Be in My Heart is kind of an exception to this because it is actually a really nice song that kind of benefits the story. But the other ones, like Son of Man and Strangers Like Me, like, we understand that Tarzan wants to know more about the human world. That's what the entire montage is about. Speaking of which, how does Tarzan pick up English in the span of one montage? There are way too many montages in this movie. And I do have some issues with the story. I don't get why Kerchak only likes Tarzan at the very end. Like, he's really appreciative of him when he comes back, but he's, like, hated him for the entire movie. It's like they forgot to build their relationship up to this point. I don't get that. When Tarzan is shown his parents' old house, it's like he sort of questions whether or not he's actually Kala's biological son, and I was like, hold up, dude, did you not get that you weren't her biological son? That's a little concerning. So that was weird. Some points it seems like the movie's going for a racial metaphor, but it never explores this at all. So the movie kind of just feels, I don't want to say empty, but unexplored as a result. The defeat of the jaguar, I don't know what it is, the creature Sabor that kills Tarzan's parents and Kala and Kerchak's little ape baby, that was sad. It should be this big pivotal moment, but it's really inconsequential to the story. Like, it comes in a point when Tarzan doesn't even know that Sabor's done anything to wrong him or anybody close to him. Like, he's kind of just doing it because he's there. There's very little reason for it to actually happen. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like that probably should have been the climax. Not that the climax wasn't good. It was good. And Clayton's death always did kind of traumatize me. I mean, I only watched this movie like a couple years ago, but still. Yeah. And, I mean, Clayton himself, look, Brian Blessed does a really good job with the performance, but he's not a very interesting character. So, yeah, Tarzan is definitely better than Pocahontas, but it's still not good, per se. Number 8, Outback Steak Mouse. No, sorry, The Rescuers Down Under. Now, as I said in my Dark Age ranking, I do like the first Rescuers film. It has problems, for sure, but I like it. This movie improves on certain aspects of that one, but it also kind of decreases on certain other things. The animation is great. The score is really, really cool. Like, it's fantastic. The whole main theme is just really, really cool. I like the John Candy albatross. He was pretty funny. I love John Candy. The villain is actually really fun. Like, I think when I first watched this movie as a young lad, I do remember enjoying the villain, and now I've seen this movie maybe 3 times, and I still enjoy the villain. He's a good villain. I like him. But the movie still has problems. The kid is really stupid. I don't get why he doesn't have an Australian accent. Because, I mean, his mom is Australian. And he lives in Australia, so why doesn't he have an Australian accent? And then, I don't know. He's really dumb. Like, and he's really annoying. Like, the little girl from the last movie was shown to be much smarter than this kid, and she was clearly, like, 2 or 3 years younger than him. Come on, man. I really don't like the mouse named Jake or whatever who accompanies Bernard and Bianca. Like, he's so clearly flirting with Bianca, but Bianca doesn't pick up on this, and nor does Bernard for some reason. Like, that's weird. Speaking of which, I feel like Bernard and Bianca have next to no chemistry in this movie. Like, I mean, they're fine, I guess, but they just don't really hit me as a couple to be good. Like, they alluded to them being a couple at the end of the last movie, and I was like, okay, maybe. I don't need to see that, but maybe, okay. Yeah. Yeah. But, oh, and one more thing. I looked it up on the internet. A golden eagle's wingspan is typically 5 feet 11 inches to 7 feet 8 inches. The average height of a male from age 6 to 7 is 3'6" to 4'1". So either this eagle is much too big for this kid to be riding him, or the kid is way too small. So either we got this tiny little kid, but that doesn't make sense because the boy is the right size in comparison to the mice and the other animals that he meets. Oh yeah, the other animals, they suck. So yeah, the eagle is like freakishly large. So yeah. Don't know why that is. That just always bothered me. And it bothered me this time around. If I'm wrong on that, I don't know, let me know. But I don't know. The internet is always right. But I'm on the internet right now. Don't tell them! Anyway. Number 7, Hercules. I like Hercules. I like many parts of it. Meg is funny. Very much so. Hercules is a pretty solid protagonist with a really, really, really good voice that suits his character very nicely. Danny DeVito is the GOAT. He's fantastic. Yeah. Hades is easily my favorite character in the movie. He's really, really funny. His voice is hysterical, and I like how he just, like, goes absolutely insane in his anger. It's so funny. I think the movie incorporates modern references really well. The humor is very sharp. There's some solid songs. Go the Distance, Zero to Hero, Can't Say I'm in Love. That's a great one. But the movie does have some story issues. I don't get why Zeus wanted Herc to prove himself at all. Like, if he missed him so much, why wouldn't he just restore his godhood right then and there at the beginning of the movie? I don't know. I feel like these specific flaws exist only to make the film longer, and that's just not a very good excuse to have the flaws at all. Herc risks his life for plenty of people, so I don't get why he's only considered a true hero once he saves Meg. One person. I don't, and he was closer to death than he had for Meg than he was for those other people, but like, that Hydra really could have done a number on him, and it almost did. He was almost crushed by those rocks. I really, really don't get why Hades didn't just take Herc's strength away. No, sorry. Why Hades didn't just kill Hercules when his strength was taken away. Like, he was right there. Herc was weak. He was totally at his mercy, and he had this giant weight on top of him. Hades easily could have just zapped him out of existence. So why didn't he just do it? Like, he was right there. Come on, Hades. You're such a cool villain, so why doesn't your plan make any sense? I feel like there's some issues with the music. One Last Hope, the Phil song in particular, I don't know. It's so musically disjointed. There is no clear melody to attach to. It's just weird random notes in random order. I don't like it. And then, okay, why in the name of his own domicile wouldn't they give Hades a villain song? Like, come on, people. It's right there. Like, this is a musical. Give Hades a musical number. Yeah, that bothered me. Number 6. Wait. All right. Every movie up from this point on, from number 6 to number 1, great to phenomenal. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Number 6, Aladdin. I did find a couple problems with this one. I don't get how Jafar's magic machine is able to find the diamond in the rough. Like, that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Speaking of Jafar, he should have his own, like, original villain song, not just a reprise. They got one for him in the musical. It's called Diamond in the Rough. It's magnificent. I don't know if it would have worked in this specific story. But come on, give him something. Like, have you heard the deleted songs for Jafar? Humiliate the boy? Are you kidding me? Anyway, other than that, the movie's great. Aladdin and Jasmine are a really charming couple that have great chemistry. All the character designs in this movie are fantastic. I really enjoy the animal and fabric sidekicks. They're funny, especially Iago. He was hilarious. I really liked his bond with Jafar. Speaking of Jafar freaking rules. He is so fun. I don't know. I just really enjoy him as an antagonist. The genie is by far the best character. He's awesome. I love him. Robin Williams gives, in my opinion, one of his best performances of all time. Like, I have no idea what number 1 would be. Maybe The Birdcage, but nah, this is my favorite performance of his. I haven't seen all of his movies, but still. The comedy is really good, and it holds up really nicely, especially the genius, like, pop culture references. The climax is great. And I like how they had all this snake imagery with Jafar, like the snake's staff, the kind of deepening and sort of hiss to his voice, the fact that his design and that weird hood thing that attaches to his headdress kind of looks like the hood of a king cobra. That was pretty cool. Yeah, the ending is just really heartwarming, and I really enjoy seeing the genie finally be freed. The songs are all great. It's not the best Disney soundtrack, but still, it's magnificent. Arabian Nights is awesome. One Jump Ahead is just really fun, and its reprise is also pretty great. Friend Like Me is a freaking blast. Prince Ali, again, blast, really fun. A Whole New World is really, really nice. I don't like adore it or anything, but still. But the one thing it has got going for it, it features the voice of Lea Salonga. Lea Salonga provided the singing voice of Jasmine and Mulan in Mulan, and she was Eponine in the Les Miserables 10th anniversary concert. She came back for the 25th to play Fantine. She was in Miss Saigon, and she has one of the greatest voices I have ever heard. I could listen to her sing anything. I could listen to her singing Baby Shark. That is my least favorite song of all time. I hate it with every fiber of my being. And I could somehow find a way to compliment even the likes of it if she was singing it. Like, seriously, amazing voice. Just listen to her sing. Please. More people need to know about this woman. She is majestic. Anyway, Aladdin's great. Moving on. Number 5, Mulan. What a great movie. So how could Disney mess it up with that god-awful remake? Anyway, we're not talking about the remake. We're talking about the original. Focus, film watcher. Focus. I don't like Mulan's dog. He doesn't have that much screen time, but I don't like him. His design is one of the worst designs for a dog I've ever seen. Like, it's... Okay, it's not quite as bad as the dog, the main character dog from the movie Food Fight, but it's still bad. Other than that, it's just a really good movie. No, scratch that. It's a great movie. Mulan has a really impressive and grounded character arc that makes her feel like a real person. And I really, really like her. She's one of my favorite Disney protagonists. Not just female, just any Disney protagonist. I really enjoy all the side characters. Shang, Mulan's family, Ling Yao and Chien Po. They're just a fun trio of characters. Mushu is really funny. Eddie Murphy's delivery just really adds a lot to this role. Okay, and I really, really don't like it when people say that we're just watching Donkey for the whole movie. Mushu is not Donkey. Donkey is an endearing and sweet character, and Mushu is a selfish little twerp. They are very, very different characters who just happen to be voiced by the same actor. So take it, remove it from your heads. They are not similar characters. At least I don't think so. Anyway, the villain Shan Yu isn't like excellent or anything, but he's still really cool, and his design is awesome. This movie never struck me as one that needed a villain with like this deep personal connection to the hero. So, yeah. Is it just me, or does the way smoke is animated in this movie just look really, really cool? It looks so awesome. The comedy holds up really well. The dramatic scenes are given the weight they deserve. Like, wow. The whole burned village thing, one of the best dramatic scenes in all of Disney. The action is spectacular. I do wish that the climax had been as intense and awesome as the avalanche scene. The climax is good, don't get me wrong. But, I don't know, the avalanche scene is just so amazing and raw and awesome. I love it. The songs are all great. Honor to Us All is nice. Reflection is really nice. And Lea Salonga kills it once again. Girl with Fighting For is just fun. And Make a Man Out of You is freaking amazing. By far the best song in the movie. I love it. Anyway, yeah, Mulan is awesome. Number 4, The Little Mermaid. Okay, originally I had this ranked at like number 6 or number 5, below Aladdin and Mulan. And that's it. And well, I think the climax is too short. It's only like 5 minutes. Like, what's up with that? The movie doesn't really need like a huge, long climax, but come on, you could have given us something. And I don't get why they needed to deepen Ursula's voice. Like, come on, Pat Carroll's is deep enough. It sounds kind of ridiculous when you think about it. You pitiful, insignificant fools! Now I am the ruler of all the ocean! Okay. Yeah, I'm done with that. But seriously, the movie's so much fun. It's just awesome. Come on. Like, when I was preparing to do this ranking... No, not this ranking. When I was just preparing my Disney reviews as a whole, I was listening to this soundtrack. Either that or just Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. But no, this soundtrack, I love it. Ariel is such a delightful protagonist. Eric is fine. He's solid. I don't dislike him. I like him. He's not amazing. He and Ariel have really good chemistry. I really like King Triton. He feels like a real person and not just this overly aggressive father to this super rambunctious teenage girl. I think he's actually treated very well, and this is probably the best example of the oppressive parent thing. Like, I think they tried to replicate it in Moana. In my opinion, didn't work as well. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a later video. I like all the side characters. Sebastian, Flounder, Scuttle. Especially Sebastian. He's just awesome. And the psychotic chef, Chef Louis. Just pitch perfect. How did they get such an awesome character for this movie? He's just so fun. Ursula is amazing. She is such an awesome villain. She's like top 5 Disney villains. By far. She's amazing. I love her. She's awesome. And her voice is just... oh, it's so cool. The comedy holds up really nicely. The songs, just perfect soundtrack. Fathoms Below and Daughters of Triton, they're fun. Fun songs. Very fun songs. They're good. Very good. Part of Your World is absolutely gorgeous. Both reprises are excellent. Under the Sea is a freaking blast. Poor Unfortunate Souls, one of the best villain songs ever. Like, top 10. Top 7, probably. Maybe top 6. Maybe even top 5. I don't know. Kiss the Girl, just beautiful. Just beautiful. And then Les Poissons is like, it's comedy gold. Gold, I say! The gold is mine! No, not talking about Pocahontas here. Dang it! Yeah, this movie is just such an awesome blast of a film. It's so much fun. Number 3! The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So, I have more problems with this movie than I do The Little Mermaid. There's some lame slapstick. The gargoyles are not funny. I don't think they're, like, terribly annoying. But that doesn't change the fact that they're unfunny. They're not. And in my opinion, I feel like they should have been, like, figments of Quasimodo's imagination. I believe that was the original plan. I did hear that somewhere. I mean, it would make sense. Like, of course, Quasimodo's conscience... of course his conscience would want him to disobey Frollo. Of course he would tell bad jokes. The poor guy's been stuck up in a tower for his entire life. You think he would have found out how to make good jokes? But no, that's never really alluded to. And that would have fixed like 90% of the problems with this movie. They could have written out that lame slapstick too. Phoebus should have been the only comic relief in this movie. He is hilarious. But anyway, yeah. It's just such a good movie. Quasimodo and Esmeralda are such genuine characters, and I really enjoy their bond throughout the film. Both of their arcs are just freaking magnificent. As I said, Phoebus is hilarious. He should have been the only comic relief of this movie. He's funny enough! Anyway, Frollo is the most psychopathically evil thing that I have ever seen in a movie. Okay, maybe not a movie. A Disney movie, for sure, by far. The score is stunning. I decided not to remark on every movie's animation unless it was one of the few things that had going for it. Pocahontas. Sorry. But yeah, this movie's animation is just so epic and grand. I love it. The script is something that really stood out to me. It's amazing. It's awesome. The movie's scope is just huge. I love that gothic choir in the background, and all the Latin in this movie, just awesome. Bells of Notre Dame is a stunning opening number. It's magnificent. Out There, my favorite I Want song ever. Not just in a Disney movie. No. Ever. God Help the Outcasts. Just, it's gorgeous. It's amazing. It almost had me tear up one time when I listened to it. I don't tear up at a lot of things, mainly musicals. But yeah. Dear Evan Hansen, that got me. But so did this song, almost, not really, but yeah, almost. Hellfire is one of the best villain songs. It's amazing. I love it. It's so cool. There's some other good songs. Topsy Turvy grew on me. I didn't like it at first, but now I do. Court of Miracles, again, I really like it now. And A Guy Like You, the Gargoyles song. It's not awful. I don't think it's, like, great, but it's not terrible. It is kind of catchy. Yeah, this movie is not perfect by any means. Not at all. But I still love it. It's still magnificent. Number 2. Beauty and the Beast. This is one of the smartest movies I've ever seen, you guys. Like, Belle is such an unbelievably charming character. She might be my favorite Disney princess. She or Mulan, either one. I could go back and forth. I did make a list one time. I have a tendency to do that, as you can tell. The Beast has an incredible arc, and like you can tell that they're perfect for each other. The attention to detail in this movie is amazing. Like Belle says specifically, when Beast is telling her, yeah, you got to leave to look after Maurice, she's like, thank you for understanding how much he needs me. Which I just realized when I last watched this movie, that's a callback to the lyric from Belle Reprise when she says, And for once it might be grand to have someone understand. Like, the Beast understands Belle. We see that in this movie. And she's the first person that challenges him. She talks back to him. She questions him. No one's ever done that for him before, and you can see that with both of them. Oh my god, this movie actually pays attention to what would be perfect for each specific character. Snow White never did that. The side characters are all excellent. Lumiere, he's hilarious. Cogsworth, again, hilarious. Mrs. Potts, Chip, that weird, for some reason, mute coat rack dude. They're all great. And LeFou. Gotta give credit to LeFou. He's awesome. The romantic dialogue in this movie, it may be the only romantic dialogue in any movie that I don't cringe at. 99% of romantic dialogue is in movies, I'll go like, ugh, God. Even in the Beauty and the Beast remake. But this, I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually invested in this. I never get invested in romantic dialogue. I am an emotionless robot man. But, yeah, anyway. The songs are all awesome. I know I missed out on a character. I will talk about him in a bit. Belle is the perfect opening number. It's magnificent. It sets up all of Belle's desires and motivations, Gaston's goals, the town's status quo, the lighthearted but seriously taken tone of the film, and the freaking high caliber of music that would follow for the rest of the, I don't know, like 80 minutes? I don't know how long. How long is this movie? Who knows? Gaston is one of the best villain songs of all time. It's hilarious, and it's really smart, but I'll get to that later. Be Our Guest is just awesome. Beauty and the Beast is beautiful. Something There, just awesome. The mob song is anxiety-inducing as heck. And honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but after having watched it like 3 separate times this year, Gaston is my favorite part of this movie. He's actually a really well-written character. Yes, he's hilarious. He's really funny. And his voice is absolutely pitch perfect. But he's also like the perfect deconstruction of the classic Disney prince. Like, if this movie had come out when Sleeping Beauty did, Gaston would be the hero, killing Beast, marrying Belle. But this movie actually pays attention to what's right for both of them, not who the most attractive couple would be. Gaston is like the quintessential example of toxic masculinity and childish entitlement. Like, he sees Belle just as like a beast to tame, and once he does, she'll just serve him for life and give him an army of offspring. He also becomes a lot more animalistic as the movie goes along, which goes in direct contrast with the Beast becoming more human as the movie goes on. Like, he's just a perfect character. I love him. He's awesome. He's so well written. If I had a nitpick, I find it really funny how Belle refers to the Beast as Beast. Like, she said, "Hey, Beast, how's it going?" She didn't actually say that, but seriously? She couldn't have just said no or something. That's what they did in the remake. The remake actually did something better than this original movie. What? That never happens. But seriously, I don't care. This movie's amazing. How could anything ever top it? The answer is right here. Yes. Number 1 is The Lion King. Everything in this movie is so unbelievably grand. It's majestic. Simba's arc is so well handled and mature. How he learns to really accept responsibility and actually do something instead of just running away from his past. Nala is a great counterbalance because she actually did grow up, as opposed to Simba, who really didn't. Mufasa is a great mentor, and he has the greatest voice of all time with James Earl Jones. Yeah, greatest voice of all time. I'm calling it. Timon and Pumbaa are really heartwarming and really funny, and they actually really serve great purpose to help Simba on his, like, kind of descent into immaturity, but then they really help him, they build him back up. Scar is my favorite Disney villain ever. I'm serious. He's hilarious. He's really funny and menacing. Like, as terrifying as Frollo is, and as hilarious and well-written as Gaston is, Scar's always at the top. The hyenas, Zazu, Sorabi, Rafiki, Nala's mom, whose name is Seraphina, in case you were wondering. Every single character in this movie is memorable as heck. The comedy is excellent. The action is phenomenal. The script and the voice acting are top-notch. Why do people say that Matthew Broderick isn't good in this movie? He's amazing! Like, he so well embodies Simba. The story in this movie is deep and powerful with some really effective tonal shifts. The animation and the cinematography are top notch. They are freaking amazing. Circle of Life is phenomenal. Can't Wait to Be King and Hakuna Matata are really fun. Can't Feel the Love Tonight is beautiful. Be Prepared is like, it's the king of Disney villain songs. It's phenomenal. The score is my favorite of all time. My favorite film score ever. See, I love this movie. I will always love this movie. It's a masterpiece. It's easily my favorite movie, not just of this era, not just of Disney, not just of animation, but of all time. I'm exhausted. This Disney marathon is kind of starting to get to me, so hopefully the next batch of movies are as good as this one. I'm just materialized in my pocket. How did a tiny Lego chicken just materialize in my pocket? Man, a little chicken. A chicken that's little.